This episode is about one of the greatest success stories of this decade, El Salvador. I had the pleasure of experiencing El Salvador from November 1st to November 5th, 2025. Leading up to the trip, I wasn't sure what story I would be telling you today. I considered the Bitcoin story, the mass incarceration situation, and of course, the country's charismatic dictator. But those have been covered extensively by others. So, no, this was the story that hit me the moment I stepped off the plane and I saw this painted onto the wall, greeting every arriving passenger. Bienvenidos a El Salvador, un país que renace. Welcome to El Salvador, a country reborn. And that is what today's story is about. The airport itself is small, but new and clean. We approached the customs officers, and for the first time in my life, the customs officers seemed genuinely welcoming and friendly. They were joking around with other travelers, they had big smiles, and there was no fee or visa needed to enter. As soon as we stepped outside, the air was warm and humid despite it being 8 p.m. at night. It's a very hot country. We called an Uber for the 45-minute ride from the airport to Zona Rosa neighborhood in San Salvador, where we were staying. And during that ride in, we were chatting with the Uber driver who was excited to tell us all about his country and how good life is now. He was telling us that the highway we were on was new, the airport was new, the infrastructure was new. He told us how if we were traveling on this same highway 6 years ago, well, we wouldn't be because there would have been checkpoints where we would have been stopped by gangs and robbed or killed. It's impossible to imagine now with how nice everything seemed. I was reminded of something I heard about Lee Kuan Yew, the dictator of Singapore. He obsessed over the quote unquote onboarding experience. Now, I've never been to Singapore, but I've heard that from the moment you arrive in the airport to the customs to the taxi ride to your hotel, everything is carefully planned out and you see the best of everything so that you're blown away from the very first impression. It makes you feel comfortable and impressed, and you want to do business in a place like that. But before I go into the rest of the trip, let me tell you about El Salvador. El Salvador is a tiny country in Central America. It's surrounded by Guatemala, Honduras, and the Pacific Ocean. It's the size of the US state of Rhode Island, but it's packed with 170 volcanoes. It's got about 6.4 million people packed into just 8,100 square miles, making it the most densely populated country in the Americas. Economically, El Salvador uses the US dollar, and until recently, Bitcoin was also an official currency. However, as of earlier this year, it's no longer an official currency, but yet it's still accepted nearly everywhere, and I'll share my experiences with that in a moment. With a GDP of around $38 billion, it's economically smaller than the state of Vermont, and a huge percentage of people rely on remittances from family in the US, some $6 billion so far this year, which is about a quarter of their economy. Politically, it's President Nayib Bukele's show. The 43-year-old millennial president came to power in 2019 on a wave of frustration with corruption and gang violence. And then last year, he got reelected for a second term and got 85% of the vote. He's currently the most popular head of state in the world. Pre Bukele, El Salvador was the murder capital of the world, 53 homicides per 100,000 people in 2018. Buses were getting torched. Kids were recruited into gangs before they were even teenagers. People were just killed at random on the streets. Gangs ran whole neighborhoods. But Bukele changed all of that in a single weekend with his 2022 state of exception. He made 80,000 arrests and established a mega prison called Secot that holds 40,000 of the most dangerous humans on earth for the rest of their lives. As of the latest data, murders are down to 1.9 per 100,000 in 2024 and is on track for under 1.5 this year. Critics say Bukele is authoritarian with arbitrary detentions, possible human rights violations, but every Salvadorian we spoke to said the same thing. They would take safety over the old way any day, and life is way, way better now. That was universal across the board. And if you look at the US State Department website, They have a threat level for every country. Level 4 is do not travel, and that's currently places like Venezuela, North Korea, Iran, and Ukraine. And for a long time, El Salvador was on that list. Level 1 is places like Canada, Australia, and Japan. And now, El Salvador. So as I record this, it's the safest country in the Western Hemisphere. Pre Bukele, the growth of the country was very slow. It was hovering under 2% with gang extortions that made business impossible. Families had to pay rent to MS-13 just to open, for example, a corner store. But now tourism is booming. It accounts for 8% of GDP, and the country is rapidly becoming a hotspot for tourists and expats. Bitcoin, of course, is one of the big stories in El Salvador. El Salvador was the first country to make it legal currency in 2021. And while the adoption by locals wasn't enough to keep it going, because it was actually removed as a currency earlier this year, it's drawn crypto tourists to the country. And quite frankly, it's just a really interesting experiment. And that was one of the big reasons why I was so excited to travel there. And some fun facts: El Salvador means the savior. It's got 170 volcanoes, 20 of which are active. And their national dish is the pupusa, which is like a stuffed tortilla. And it was recently declared by UNESCO an intangible heritage. But back to our trip. We stayed at an Airbnb in Zona Rosa, which is a trendy pocket of San Salvador, which is the capital city and has a population of about 500,000 people. So upon arriving, we dropped our bags and hit the streets for dinner at a little pupusa dealer on the street. It's got some good spice to it. Now I'm gonna try the pupusa. Gracias.
Do you like it?
It's not that impressive. It's
The pupusa itself is kind of bland,
yeah.
even with queso.
Hola, buenas noches. As you can tell, we didn't necessarily love pupusas, but hey, it was worth trying. The next day, we explored San Salvador. I had some incredible San Salvadorian coffee and breakfast. I paid for it in Bitcoin, and it cost 0.0024116 Bitcoin, which is about $26. And the experience was quite clunky. I had to download the app of my Bitcoin wallet. I had to scan a QR code on the register, and then I had to type in the amount in my app. And the payment actually failed a couple times before it went through. And when it did go through, it took a few minutes before he said, okay, it's good, it cleared. So it wasn't as fast or reliable as swiping my Visa card. But from there, we hit the center of town. And the most notable thing there is the new National Library, Biblioteca Nacional, which was opened in 2023. It's a gleaming modern glass cube built on what used to be a gang-ruled parking lot. Pre-Bukele, this area was a no-go zone after 5 p.m. Now there's families, lots of young kids, vendors, tourists everywhere. The whole building was funded by China, and it's open 24/7. It's super high-tech, and they even have video games where anyone can play, but only after you've read a book for at least 30 minutes. It's a really interesting public project. Here they have video games available, but in order to play them, you have to read a book for 30 minutes and show that you read before you play. Encourages literacy before having a little bit of fun. And it shows the emphasis on education and preparing for a brighter future. Got to the top floor, the roof of the library, and what do you think so far?
I think it's really innovative, and everything is new, so I really like it. There are different types of games. There's like a driving game, there's Mario Kart game, Mario board game, but you have to read 30 minutes first to gain the 1 hour play. And I think that is really interesting because it encourages kids to read. Not only that, it's also a very Asian mindset. You have to study first to
Have fun?
yeah, to have fun. So you gotta work hard before the fun. That's really interesting. And then I think this building was built by Chinese company or assisted by Chinese company. It's really interesting. They placed El Salvador, and in the middle probably I don't know. In the middle, I think it's something about the building and the Chinese flag is interesting.
After exploring the center and walking through a graveyard, one of the big cemeteries in the center of town, we were there on what happened to be a national holiday where everyone was out decorating and cleaning their relatives' graves. So we walked through there. That was really interesting. And then we walked through a market, which was just chaos. Sí. And then we went to El Bocaron, a massive volcanic crater overlooking the city. It's only about 20 or 30-minute Uber ride from where we were staying. And you can hike right up to the rim of the volcano, but it's a very short hike, maybe 1 kilometer to the top. It took 10 to 15 minutes, but beautiful, beautiful views. We're here at El Bocaron at the top, and you got the whole rim of the volcano. And then come look down there. There's a drone flying down, which is pretty cool. Down in the very middle, completely enclosed.
Wow.
Really cool. The next day, we rehired our Uber driver from El Bocaron for a full day trip. He took us 2 hours west to Santa Ana Volcano. The wind was howling, it was crazy, so we weren't allowed to go to the crater lake at the top, but we got right up to the top as far as we could safely go. We've reached our highest point for today on Santa Ana. We're not able to go all the way to the top because of the wind. It's super windy, and there's a police officer right up there making sure we don't go further. And here's the view.
This is sour.
Stopped at a little fruit stand and got these.
Jocote.
Mocote?
Jocote, creo. But I think you can. Oh, interesting. Can you eat the whole?
I did.
Is it hard? Nothing much.
Solo es encima, va. Lo duro no se come.
Ah, sí. Ajá.
It was there's a big seed and very thin amount of,
Exactly.
but it's good. It's sour,
There's nothing much to eat.
citrusy.
¿Eso cuál es?
Miel?
Ese es miel de abeja.
Ah,
Y este es café.
café. ¿Es yuca? Oh, nice.
Jícama.
Ah, ¿es jícama? Sí, es un poco diferente.
Este café son
Porque jícama en México es más como largo.
es
Bastante.
más. Ah, pues
¿Y
acá es
este qué es?
mamón.
Mamón?
Es ácido.
Ese sí es ácido.
Es como limón.
Oh.
Pero
Níspero.
es familia del zapote. Más a mí es el olor, el aroma.
Sí.
Es bien fuerte y es bien rico. Aquí había más, miren.
Ah, hay mucho más.
Jocote tenía bastantes también.
And once again, I'll say this again, 6 years ago, we were told the road was just a gang checkpoint and was a trip that you just could not do.
Ceviche. Y Necesitamos más limón.
The following day, we rented a car.
This is my car. Oh, look at Wendy's.
I love Wendy's.
We were passing through Zaragoza. Actually, you can show Wendy's. So there's a lot of Wendy's in El Salvador. I don't know why. They like El Salvi. But anyways, we rented a car. It's a Kia Picanto. Very small. And it was $50. And I used credit card points to get it. And we're actually extended. We were just going to get it for the day, but we extended to tomorrow morning, so we're going to drop it off at the airport when we go home. And we just left San Salvador, passed through Zaragoza. We're on our way to La Libertad. And the driving is super, super easy. It's way better than Mexico in terms of how crazy traffic are. People use turn signals here. They stay in their lanes. They follow the speed limit. Right as I say that, this guy changes lanes without a stop or without a turn signal. But yeah, compared to Mexico, it's a very relaxed driving experience. And we're going, I think it's 50 kilometers out to the beach of La Libertad. And there's 3 famous beaches right next to each other. So we're gonna check out Bitcoin Beach, El Zante, where you can buy anything with Bitcoin. So one observation of the people we've interacted with is people are very friendly. There's a lot of small talk. Like, even from the first moment of arriving at the airport, the immigrations officer was joking around with the guy. There was a Chinese tourist entering, and they were joking around and like trying to say Chinese words to him and stuff, which we've never seen at any immigrations. It's always a very serious process. And so yeah, that was interesting. And then every Uber driver we've had a conversation with. We've had conversations with a lot of people that there's a lot of small talk. We hired a driver who we met through Uber. He drove us somewhere, and then gave us his card and said, hey, if you want to hire me for an entire day, it'll be $60. And so we did that, and he is very talkative. He just like will go off on like one question and just answer it for 20 minutes, which is great. We learned a lot about the country and stuff through him.
You want to talk about the achievement of the Presidente Bukele? How people think about these achievements?
Yeah, everyone we've talked to likes Bukele.
Very positive.
Yeah. They their life has improved drastically in the last few years, because it used to be, one of our drivers was telling us, driving on a road like this, you might get stopped by the gangs and assaulted or at minimum bribed. And if you run a little business, you pay money to the gangs to exist for their protection. And all that's gone away, and life is just like way safer. You can get around, you don't have to worry about it, and people are loving life. So we're in El Zante, which is known as Bitcoin Beach. We just passed a sign that said El Futuro está aquí. So we're in and there's El Zante Entrada Número 2. So I'm gonna see if I can just pay for everything today in Bitcoin only. Look at how high tech this place is.
In 300 meters, turn left toward California 2. Take the...
A lot of hostels, Bitcoin signs on everything.
Turn left, then you will arrive at your destination.
I tried to buy breakfast with Bitcoin, but the payments failed this time, so I ended up using US dollar cash, which was really disappointing. I was hoping to buy everything in Bitcoin in El Zante, but...
Okay, scan the QR.
Pero se considera como ingreso, ¿no? De ingreso de...
Sí.
Pero no...
¿Cuánto cuesta?
23.
23.
After that, we walked up and down the beach, and it's just a typical surf town, surfers, hostels, crypto enthusiasts from all over the world. It feels like Tulum 10 years ago. From there, we visited this little shop called the Bitcoin Hardware Store. It's a little place dedicated to Bitcoin education, and they sell Bitcoin mining devices, cold wallets, and Bitcoin educational books. We spoke with the staff.
We have micro classes every Monday. We also have on Saturdays, but on Saturdays it's in Spanish. Well, if you want to learn Spanish.
We need practice.
Yeah, and we do the streaming and also the class outside here at the store. In case you want to join us every Monday, you know.
Super cool. And it's just like the basics of Bitcoin is the idea?
Actually, no. Every class vary. Like it could be something very basic or it could be like something very technical.
Okay.
So it depends, but we always try to explain like in the best way possible.
Cool, okay. This is awesome. Bitcoin board game?
Yes.
Huddle up. Diploma Day Bitcoin. Oh, this sounds interesting.
That's a really good one. And yeah, like for example, we have the seed sign over here, one of my favorites. And this one you can build it by yourself.
Oh yeah, it
Like,
looks 3D printed.
Yeah,
It's like,
you can build it by yourself. We have the whole, all the parts that you can just put everything together to make sure, you know, because there are some people that are very picky with that in specific, so they want to build it and make sure that nothing has put any malware inside of it.
okay. And I see this is for generating your random seeds.
Yes,
is the idea
for
with
the
that?
entropy.
So they sell the dice so you can do a random number generator. Oh, YubiKey. I used to have some of those.
Yeah, YubiKeys are good. We have like the old version and the latest one, and so as this one. For example, CoinKite is a very famous company in the market for Bitcoin. So this is the NK4, like it's a very old, like one of the first Bitcoin wallets that exists. And then we have the latest one, which is the Cold Card Q. It is one of the most safest cold wallets in the market right now because it has a double chip element that it protects, like it gives like another layer of security to your Bitcoin. Seed plates, washers, those are also washers, but that one is titanium and this is how's it called, the other one?
Steel?
Steel, yeah. And this one is encrypted.
Oh wow.
You see?
And you mark
this,
it?
Yes, and you mark it with this one, with this punch. You see, this one is 1, 2, 3, 4. So we just need to put like the 4 letters of your first word in the seed phrase. Like for example, let's say that your word starts with A. So you're gonna go just be marking and stamping it like that.
Oh, so it's a reminder to
Yeah.
yourself, not the full thing, but just
Yeah, like the four first letters.
Okay.
Or sell Bitcoin.
And I even bought some Bitcoin from the ATM
It's
there.
pretty simple. If you
just
wanna
to
buy
say I
some
did it.
Bitcoin right now, you can do it.
Sure, I better try this.
This one, remember, Bitcoin is for Bitcoin on-chain transactions, and this one is for Bitcoin Lightning or Layer 2.
What about the El Chivo app? Does that still exist, or did they get rid of
Still
it?
exists. Like me as a Salvadorian, I have the access of Chivo, and honestly, I don't really use it that much. I only use it when I'm trying to get some cash, so I just go to the ATM because this one is gonna charge you the 6%, and the Chivo ATM doesn't charge me anything. So I'd rather not buy it.
Yeah, that's better. Okay, putting cash in.
It was a super easy process. They had me download a wallet app, and then I just transferred the Bitcoin straight to the app.
Ooh.
Awesome, that was easy.
From there, we continued our adventure through the coast to La Libertad. We then shot up to the Tamanique waterfalls. We had a beautiful drive through these super windy El Salvadoran roads and passed through these little tiny villages along the way. It was just really fun to get a glimpse into the life out in the country with beautiful views along the way. At night, we arrived back to our Airbnb, and then the next morning, drove to the airport, and flew out. Overall, I loved this trip, and I feel like when I return to El Salvador in the future, it's going to look very, very different. It's so optimistic. It's so exciting right now. And I'm fascinated by places where innovative things are happening unusually fast right now. I'm talking about Dubai, Shenzhen, San Francisco, and Mexico City, where I'm recording this from. There are these little pockets of places shaping the future, and I count El Salvador among them.